8 pivotal turning points in the Berlin, New Hampshire case that transformed an Amber Alert into a murder conviction. 8. The silent scene on Main Street. Late on February 29th, officers entered a modest 3-story building and found 31-year-old Caitlin Knapziger lifeless on a couch with a single gunshot wound to the head. No forced entry, no struggle, no weapon left behind, 2 daughters missing, and the renter, 37-year-old Dustin Duren, nowhere in sight. This first glimpse mattered because it suggested an intentional act inside a controlled space and immediately reframed the case from uncertain tragedy to a focused manhunt. 7. The Amber Alert and the tactical stop. By morning on March 1st, phones lit up across New Hampshire. A white Subaru, 2 young daughters, a father on the move. 2 witnesses in Keene spotted the car and calmly relayed its route. On Key Road, the Subaru pulled into an Applebees lot. Multiple units converged. Duren surrendered. The daughters were safe. This mattered because the quick public alert and coordinated policing preserved lives and secured the primary suspect within hours. 6. The Subaru tells a story. Inside the driver door pocket, investigators found a loaded Beretta pistol with the safety on and no round chambered. Ballistics would later match it to the shot that killed Caitlin. The gun had been a gift from Duren's father, a retired deputy sheriff. The car held clothes for all 3, pillows, blankets, snacks, water, and even a full-size desktop computer tower. His phone had been powered off after the shooting. This mattered because the weapon connection and the travel kit pointed to preparation and intent, not panic, while the phone shutdown showed an effort to avoid tracking. 5. Training as a shield. Duren's biography came into sharp focus. A Marine veteran, firearms instructor, tens of thousands of rounds fired, combat deployments, PTSD and depression that shaped his post-service life. In interrogation, he cited a color-coded threat model, describing his mind shifting to red, a state for immediate action. He framed the shooting as a hostage rescue and not a crime. This mattered because the defense leaned on training and mental conditioning to justify lethal force inside a domestic space. 4. The curated life versus the private conflict. For 7 years, Duren streamed games under an online alias, projecting the image of a devoted father and cheerful gamer. Viewers occasionally saw Caitlin on camera, but behind the streams, arguments over money and housing grew. A cross-country move to New Hampshire followed. The computer tower in the Subaru was the same device he used to build that public image. This mattered because it revealed a divide between digital persona and lived reality, and it preserved digital evidence that helped investigators map his state of mind. 3. The countdown to confrontation. The former couple met in 2019, had 2 daughters, and later split amid financial strain. A disputed incident in Las Vegas deepened distrust. In early 2024, a plan put Duren in Berlin with the older daughter, while Caitlin followed for seasonal work. At a mid-state handoff, she decided to ride to Berlin with both children. She had no car in the city and slept on an inflatable mattress. Days earlier, Duren had called police to ask about custody limits. This mattered because it shows a tense build-up, preoccupation with control, and an apartment dynamic that set the stage for a flashpoint. 2. The shot and the science. Duren told investigators that Caitlin clutched their older daughter in a painful hold, triggering his combat response. He said he chambered around and fired to end a hostage scenario. Forensics disagreed. The medical examiner found no close range marks, placing the muzzle about a meter away when the trigger was pulled. Reconstruction indicated Duren held the child apart with one arm and fired with the other. A physician later found no bruises on the child consistent with a crushing grip. This mattered because physical evidence undercut the core claim of immediate danger and suggested a deliberate shot taken after separation. 1. The courtroom reckoning. Caitlin's aunt testified about a simple safety plan, not a secret abduction. Prosecutors emphasized the disparity between a trained 190-pound Marine and a woman just over 110 pounds. They contrasted his narrative with ballistic facts and medical findings. The jury needed only hours. Guilty on all counts, including second-degree homicide and endangering his daughters. Sentencing was set for December 11th, 2025, and the children were placed with relatives. This final moment matters because it draws a straight line from scene evidence and science to accountability, closing a case where training and planning became tools for a fatal choice. Together, these 8 moments trace a complete arc: a quiet apartment, a rapid alert, a telling car, a defense built on training, a digital mirror, a tense lead-up, a forensic reality check, and a verdict that weighed facts over narrative. In the end, history records that a swift investigation, careful science, and clear testimony turned an Amber Alert into a murder conviction.